Okay, guys, I'm here to give you my review of the TNA Genesis Show Part 2. And this show happened last night, January 23rd, 2014. Um, to be honest with you, I didn't find much enjoyment this time around in the show. There's just something about this show. I like last week's a little bit. Last week's wasn't really. It was like an okay show too, but I don't know. I like last week's a little bit better, but because this week's was just kind of weird. I'll go over the matches. So we get Taz and Mike today on commentary for this show, and Dixie Carter, some guy that works like with the board of directors, and Rockstar Sputter backstage, and Magnus comes up, and I don't know. I didn't really understand what they were talking about because I wasn't paying attention. Um, and I couldn't fast forward it because I had to go to school the next day, so I wanted to cram in as much show as I could, which I actually ended up getting to watch the whole show. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna say that they let Stin have somebody of his choosing in his corner tonight, and because there's like no investor, so I guess they want to make things fair until this investor comes, until they find out who it is. And Magnus says he's gonna make the match between him and Stin a no count out and no disqualification match. So then they're gonna go, and then they go out and try to settle and tell Stin that we know that you're the that you have some connection with this investor because you know you can't beat me fair and square because I made you tap out of Bound for Glory. And then Stin kind of cuts like a John Cena promo saying I've always stayed in I got back up and stayed in the fight. It reminded me of John Cena. Um, and he says that he reviewed the tape, and yeah, and then he beats down Magnus because Magnus slaps him. He fights back. Rockstar Spot and Ethan Carter the third jump on him, and then Samoa Joe comes out and makes the save, and Stin announces that it was going to be Samoa Joe to make the save. Like Samoa Joe was going to be in his corner. I didn't really care. I thought this was okay. Um, and then we get Gunner versus James Storm in a briefcase on a pole match. If you win, you get the Feast of Fire thing for the world title. It's like the Money in the Bank for WWE. And doing this, it shows a new era of TNA, and it does feel like I will admit a new era of TNA, because it seems like now they're behind pushing the young talent like Magnus, Bobby Roode, Bad Influence, they're kind of Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, they're kind of getting a little bit of a push. The Bromans, Zima Ion, they're kind of like getting little pushes. They're not involved around Hulk Hogan, Brooke Hogan, Aces and Eights. They're not really involved around those guys anymore. So I think that's awesome. Hopefully though we don't get Hogan back. I don't think Hogan's gonna coming back. I think he's going to WWE, which is a good thing, and maybe he'll be at WrestleMania 30. I hope. Not have a match, just do like a little special entrance. But anyhow, yeah, it does feel like a new era because they're not pushing the old talent anymore. And then backstage, Dixie Carter and Rockstar Spud are trying to talking about Samoa Joe, and they're trying to talk out a way to get Magnet to get Samoa Joe inactive, so we can't go be in Stin's corner. So Dixie Carter makes Samoa Joe versus Rockstar Spud, and Rockstar Spud was pissed. So then we get the match between Gunner and James Storm. This match sucked. This match was just a pile of shit. I'm not really a fan of items on a pole matches. They always do them, and I don't like them. They did it with Del Rio and Ziggler. What a fuck match that was. It was supposed to be who would face Sheamus for the world title. And what ended up happening is I remember they both ended up getting the world title shot anyway, so the match was meaningless. This match, the one good thing I will say is when James Storm did the Hurricane to Gunner off the top, but I don't like on pole matches. They suck. Like the match too. I thought if you got the item, you win. It's like a ladder match, right? You're supposed to grab the hold of the item and win, but no, you have to have possession of it. Gunner had James Storm up for electric chair, and it looked like he had pretty possession, like he was holding it pretty well, so that should have just won them the match right there. and then he drops it. See, this is what you drop it, but I think if you get up and get the freaking case, you get up and grab the fucking case, you fucking win. Shouldn't that be what it is? Um, but yeah, Gunner beats down Storm and wins the match. It was a pile of trash. It was just a fucking shit fest. Kurt Angle's backstage talking about his stuff match with Bobby Roode. He says if he can't beat Bobby Roode, he doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And then I forgot to put this down, but Velvet Sky ended up getting a gift from Chris Sabin. It ends up being a teddy bear. And, a teddy bear and, I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, a teddy bear and a lead pipe. And the lead pipe, this was going to be something that was, because she said to bring these gifts for a match, and this is going to be something that should have been useful in the match. So then we get Chris Sabin defending the X Division Championship against Austin Aries with Velvet Sky in a cage. Typical Chris Sabin match. He gets beat the shit out of. Looks like a pussy because he's a heel. It was better when he was face. When he was a face, he could at least he was the underdog. He was at least he at least put up a fight. He never puts up a fight in matches anymore. He just gets beat the shit out of. And yeah, fuck yeah. But yeah, he tries to go for the lead pipe that Velvet Sky bought, but she didn't take it with her, I guess. And Austin Aries just wins with the Brainbuster and gets the X Division Championship. You're throwing the X Division Championship around like a piece of shit because it looks like a piece of shit. I do not like the way it looks. They should have stuck with the old version. So yeah, that's my thoughts right there. Next, the American Rose video package. I thought this was good. We're gonna find out that next week we're gonna get find out who the investor is. I think maybe Eric Bischoff. I think that would be okay. And then we get Bobby Roode versus Kurt Angle in a steel cage match. This was match of the night by far. This was definitely the match of the night. Bobby Roode powerbombed Kurt Angle into the cage. Kurt Angle slingshotted Bobby Roode into the cage and did a German suplex. Bobby Roode did a spine buster. Angle kicked out. Kurt Angle hit some German suplexes and hit an angle slam, but Bobby Roode kicked out. Bobby Roode went for the Roode bomb, which is the AA into the neck breaker, and Kurt Angle went for the ankle lock, but he got out of it. Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode were fighting on the cage, and then Kurt Angle could have won the match, but he went for the moonsault, and Bobby Roode moved out of the way, and Kurt Angle completely missed him. I thought that was awesome. Roode tried to escape through the door, but Kurt Angle tried to hold him in for the ankle lock, but at first he fights out of it, and then he uses the ankle lock to bring him back in the cage again, but Roode counters it and gets the Roode bomb, hits the Roode bomb on him. Kurt Angle kicks out, and then they both are fighting on the cage, fighting back and forth, and then Bobby Roode goes balls first right into the ropes. So Kurt Angle's climbing over the top. Bobby Roode tries to escape through the door. I like how they showed the screens too, so you could see who actually won. And Kurt Angle got out just before Bobby Roode did and won the match. I really like this match a lot. And I forgot to mention too that Kurt Angle had hit an angle slam off the top rope, and I thought that was really well done too. So I really like this match a lot. Definitely the match of the night, and Kurt Angle ended up getting the victory, so I really like that. And he gets to go into the Hall of Fame, which we all knew was going to happen. I think the match though was still good. I thought the match wasn't going to be as good because I knew who was going to win. And then Rockstar Spud and Ethan Carter III are backstage. EC3 is trying to hype up Rockstar Spud. I never mentioned. I wanted to kind of say this about Rockstar Spud. He kind of sounds like the guy that was the manager of the hotel. That, if you remember Home Alone 2, when Kevin McAllister stayed there, and he used the fake credit card, and then he ended up playing like the movie when he's like, I'm gonna give you to the town and Ken to get out of my apartment or something. So I thought that that's what that reminded me of. His voice anyways, he kind of sounds like that guy. But I could be wrong too, because this week he didn't sound like him as much, but last week he really sounded like him. But yeah, he's trying to hype him up, and he kind of does. He says "war like a lion," so. But you get the Bromance and Zima Ion promo. This was shit. I hated this. Um, they just do Twitter plugs and shit like that. Kind of trash. Yeah, Eric Young and Samoa Joe. When Eric Young just runs out and attacks them, and then Abyss comes out, returns again. We're probably not going to see him again for a while. I thought we clarified that Joseph Park was Abyss, so why the fuck are they doing this? I don't know. He choke slams Jesse and Black Hole slams Wabi E, and he does like a torture rack backbreaker kind of move to Zima Ion. They called it something, but I don't remember what it was. And then he's gonna choke slam Eric Young, but then he doesn't. Like Eric Young has some sort of control over him. This storyline's just shit. Ever since Joseph Park, I look at Abyss as a joke now. I do. Because I don't know, there's something about it that makes Abyss feel like a joke because they've dragged the storylines out so long. They should have ended it in 2012 Slammiversary. Just have Joseph Park be Abyss. Not that hard. Samoa Joe interview, they ask him how his knee is. Say his knee is fine. Calls Magnus a chump and a punk, and he's gonna take out Rockstar Spud. And then Kurt Angle's backstage again. He's kind of saying his final words to Sting, saying Sting should not have taken this match. And then he says he tells Sting goodbye if this is his last time we'll see him. We get Rockstar Spud versus Samoa Joe squash match. Samoa Joe won with the rear naked choke. We get Sting with Samoa. Yeah, we get Magnus defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Sting with Samoa Joe. It's a no qualification and count out match. Career versus title. And this match was pretty good. I didn't kind of like this match. It started out good. I liked how they kind of used. They didn't really use any weapons or anything. So it kind of the only thing that made it a no DQ match was people kept interfering. So yeah, we know why Magnus made it a no DQ match now. At first, EC3 the third tries to come out, but Samoa Joe scares him off. And then Bad Influence are beating down Christopher Daniels because they're going to beat down Samoa Joe on the outside. While Sting has the Scorpion Deathlock in on Magnus, and then it distracts Joe, so EC3 has to come break it up. And then Samoa Joe and Sting fight off the Bad Influence in EC3, and Samoa Joe does a suicide dive on all three of them. And then the Bromance, Zima Ion comes out, and the Bromance and throw Samoa Joe into the steps. Then a bunch of people come out and put the boots to Sting, and Angle comes out, makes the save, hits his Olympic, hits the Angle Slam, and hits the German suplexes and belly to bellies and everything. Then they all brawl Joe, and then Magnus hits like his fall away slam. And there's no referee to make the cover, so Dixie Carter versus Or Hebner to make the count, and Sting loses, and they whip up his contract. I wonder if Sting's going to WWE and facing Undertaker for WrestleMania now. I hope that's what happens, but I don't think it's going to happen. This TNA kind of sucked. I didn't really enjoy the show. The match of the night. The only match I think is worth watching on this show is probably Kurt Angle versus Bobby Roode in the cage match. They make Magnus look like a weak champion. He can't win matches on his own. At least Bully Ray was able to win matches on his own. He was. Yeah, he was. He did beat Jeff Hardy on his own. So yeah, Bully Ray was able to win matches on his own. Austin Aries, well actually he didn't. Bobby Roode, he won matches on his own. He had to cheat, but there wasn't all this outside interference. It just, oh my god, what the fuck? But yeah, that was as for this show, it wasn't that good. I'll watch next week's though. If this, but yeah, hopefully next week's is better. We're gonna see who the investor is. I have no clue who that's gonna be, but that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.